Welcome to the New World Order Showcase Podcast. Your host, Jill Hart, the coach's alchemist. Couldn't be more excited to have you join us today. On this podcast, we celebrate the champions of change, the up-and-coming life, health and transformational coaches who are fearlessly stepping forward to make a difference in the world. Get ready for inspiring stories, practical tips, and powerful moments that will motivate you to make a positive change in your life and those around you. We're happy to have you join us on this incredible journey as we dive into the world of life, health, and transformational coaches who are lighting up the path towards a better tomorrow.
Hi, and welcome to the U World Order Showcase podcast. I'm your host, Jill Hart, and today I have with me Arianne Durand, who is a personal coach, animal communicator, and dog trainer who is passionate about empowering individuals to reach their full potential. Her mission goes beyond traditional dog training. It's about fostering genuine connections, personal growth, and leading with harmony and love. With over 30 years of experience, she focuses on inspiration over control, fostering an environment where confidence and transformation naturally thrive. She's also the author of Be the Change for Your Dog. Welcome to the show, Arianne. It's really great to have you here.
Thank you. What a great introduction. Thank you so much for inviting me and being here. I love your podcast.
Well, thank you. We love having interesting people on to talk.
You have many, I know that.
I have talked to quite a few people, but very few of them, I don't think I've ever talked to anybody who is about helping people with their pets, their dogs specifically, but I think probably what you're talking about would transform or transfer to other animals too. Is that true?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. We can learn so much from animals, and not just specific dogs, but dogs were the main animals in my life.
I've had dogs my whole life. I think I'm allergic to them, actually.
Oh,
My nose is run
ouch.
all the time, but I wouldn't be without a dog. It just like, I don't think I've ever had a time in my life when I didn't have a dog in my life. And usually
Yeah.
it's more than one.
So what did that dog or the dogs mean to you?
They are companions, and they're kind of like children in a lot of ways. They're very much part of my home and my life, and they all, every one of them has had their own personality.
Yes. Yeah, and that's so true, right? Yeah. I think that's the best part of dogs is that they still are their unique selves. And the great part is that you attract the dogs that fit with you at the moment where you are. So that's what we see very often. Then people have a dog for years and years and years, and the dog dies, and they want the same dog back. That will never happen because we are not at the same place in life as we were at that time. And the dog kind of attracts you to you and then grows with you. And when you get another dog, it comes to where you are at that time and grows with you again.
Love that. And I can see that with other people I've known who've had dogs, and that does seem to be true. I think cats kind of fit in there the same way. And dogs and
Yes.
cats together are like, they're
Yeah.
so interesting.
But there is a big difference between cats and dogs.
Mhm.
And I just generalize it a little bit, but I know there's cats who are almost like dogs and there's dogs who are almost like cats. But the dogs are more socialized and want to be with us, where cats are generalized more on their own. They like to be around you, but when they choose. But a dog, they love to be around you because you want it. So that's a big
Yeah.
difference between, but every animal likes connection.
They like connection with people too. And it's I I had a homestead for a while and I had all kinds of different animals on the
Mm.
homestead. And it translates to goats and sheep and
Yes,
llamas and I mean everybody wants connection on some level.
yes.
You hear about people that have like pet chickens even.
I
You
know,
know,
and chickens are very smart. But the amazing part from connecting with animals is that they bring the best out of you. But sometimes they also bring the worst out of you because they just mirror who you are. And sometimes we don't want to see that, but they do.
you're telling you're as you're saying this, I'm thinking about a dog that I had. Her name was Katie. And a lot of my animals, my children have given to me over the years. It's like I've had maybe 3 or 4 pets that I picked out. But I got this one dog and her name was Katie. And it was at a time in my life where I really wanted to escape. And Katie was the worst about escaping and running off. She would never come back. And it was I now that you mentioned that, it was like that's how I was feeling. I just wanted to run away. And that's so interesting to me.
So even if you think back, you
Mhm,
still recognize that the patterns were shown to you, even when you didn't see it at that time, right?
mhm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what I try to do in my book as well, that I really try to see what is the dog revealing in us. If we get like angry and frustrated because of their behavior, where's that coming from? Because they might just do it because they don't know better.
Yeah. Yeah. Katie isn't with us anymore. She had
Oh,
diabetes and she passed, but I have a new puppy and I have a very old dog. He's like 11 years old now. Um, he's the only one allowed in the office, but the puppy's the only one that goes on walks. Old dog's
oh,
a pain
okay.
to
Right.
walk. But he has his interesting characteristics and they're both very different. They do get jealous of each other.
Of course. But even that, go back to why does that show up? That's why do you see, or why do you tell that they are jealous? Because dogs don't know. So it's what you see in them is coming
Yeah,
back to us.
I'll have to think about that.
Yeah. So I never want to judge those things. And
Mhm.
that's a good part from dogs. Dogs don't judge us, but they reveal certain um patterns and behavior that if we see that in them, it brings it back to who we are, even if we don't want that. But it reveals something. And if you take that with an open mind and say, like, okay, I recognize that in my dog. What does that tell about me? And if you sit with that,
Mhm.
your dog will support you, whatever you make of it.
Hmm.
That's the unconditional love. That's why it's so good to not just try to train your dog, but also be open to what you give to your dog, you get 10 times back.
Yes. I the more that you pay attention to them and do things with them and are allow them to be attached to you, the more you're going to get affection out of them
Yes. Yes.
and
But the
they'll
more
mirror it
clear
back.
you are, the more they adjust with patterns that change. But it is often that we are not clear and consistent in new patterns. So now they get confused and overwhelmed, and they're like, is it this or this or this or this? I don't know. It's the same as us people, right? We get kind of overwhelmed and confused when too much things come to us. If we don't have a clear message and we're not consistent with the message, that's what happens.
Do you coach people, or do you coach people around training their dogs? I'm a little fuzzy on this.
I coach people, and I did a lot of training people with dogs as well. In the beginning, when I trained dogs, it was more training actual dogs. Then it started to move towards, I cannot train the dogs. The people need to train the dogs because they have the dog all the time around them. So even if I would train them something, if you take him home, it doesn't mean that he does the same with you, right? That's that clear and consistent part. And it's all transforming right now into, I don't have to train the people with the dogs. I just need to train the people. And anything that you as in your personal development change will right away be seen by your dog and reflected back. And that's the transformation that I did in 30 years. So right now it's mostly working with people. But I do like the dogs part in it. So I always say I work with people who love dogs.
I like that too. You can learn so much, and they do mirror back to you.
Yeah.
And so much about your own mental state.
Yeah. And the good part with dogs is, like, if I go back in my life, I had a hard time with fitting in this world. I felt everybody was kind of talking a different language. I didn't understand, but nobody saw me and they didn't understand me. But the dogs, they always saw me. They were always happy. They supported me. They made me feel seen. And that's the part where I am working as a coach now. We want that safe and seen part from the dogs. We want that into this world. Not just with your dog, but in the real world. And you can only get there if you go back to your true self. Who are you?
People reflect back not too differently than dogs, what we're putting out.
You're totally right. And if you have had so many different people here, I bet you know. But I like to keep it with dogs. That's way easier.
Less confrontational, I think.
True. Yeah. 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 I think it is the environment around dogs makes it a little more safe. People open themselves easier up for dogs than they do for people, I think.
Yeah, because the dogs aren't going to judge you. And even if they do judge you, and there are dogs out there that will judge you. You just don't recognize they're judging you.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah. Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah. So, but I think we shouldn't feel just safe and secure and seen with our dogs, but we should be that person in real life too, right?
For sure. I have a story of this. We walk our dog every day, and we have a route that we take. So we run into the same dogs that my husband
At
and
the
I,
same time. And
yeah, it's a routine. They know we're coming. Some of them are excited. Others are like, get off my.
Hey all, I'm Jill Hart. We all know that legal matters can be costly and stressful. Finding the right representation And dealing with high retainers and hourly bills adds up fast. But what if I told you there was a way to have legal insurance, just like your health or auto insurance? Well, Legal Shield has leveled that playing field. From just $29.95 a month, you get access to lawyers for personal legal matters, from traffic tickets to real estate issues or even trust matters. Help is just a tap away on your phone. Call or text 435-764-0875 and use the code JillLegal or start your journey to legal protection today.
On.
Yeah.
And there's this one dog, her name is Sadie. I think she has an electric fence, but sometimes she comes out. She has the strangest behavior. She's wagging her tail and her butt's going a million miles an hour back and forth, which is like I'm a friendly, happy dog. And she's got her teeth all bared, like looks like she's gonna bite you. I swear she's smiling. She's barking, but it's not the growling, get away from me.
So this is a great point that you bring up. So we have like dogs, they talk with their body, right? They talk with their teeth, their mouth, their eyes, their ears, their tail, their whole body, right? And every dog is unique. So we can guess what they say, but you only know what they say if you know the dog. Because it is true, there are dogs who can smell. I have one dog, a black Labrador dog, and she does this all the time.
They do smile.
She makes her teeth, like she shows her teeth, but her tail is wagging. She's like
It's the most disarming thing when the first time I had a dog smile at me, I was asleep and I was at my parents' house and they had a standard poodle and he was standing there manipulating his lips around his teeth like, hey, you like my teeth? Look out now.
But you can imagine if you don't know the dog and you're like, oh, what is this?
Yeah, a little bit taken aback. And I went out and my parents were in the living room and I said that, your dog is making weird faces at me. And they go, oh yeah, he smiles at people.
So it's always good to know that there are some dogs who show their teeth, but they're not mean.
Yeah. And even if they like she's a golden retriever, so she's a big dog and her teeth are, they're sharp and pronounced and they could be meaning business, but just with the tail wagging, dogs usually if they're like growling at you and they're showing their teeth and their tails are tucked and their hackles are up, those dogs you need to like give them some space because that dog is telling you, hey, leave me alone. But not this dog. She's just like, hi.
I always tell if the whole body wags with the tail, normally that's an okay.
Yeah.
And
we had another incident one time where we were walking Charlie and we ran into somebody that we knew and they have a husky and the dogs seemed to be doing okay together. And then she just took a chunk out of his whiskers in the front, like she was giving him a kiss or biting something out of his whiskers. The guy is like, oh, I'm so sorry. There was no growling. My dog was just like, I don't know what just happened to me. And the other dog is like, oh, that was gross.
Right. Yeah. And so now if things happen like this, we can make it huge by our reaction. But if we just look at it, it's like, oh, nothing happened. Then they forget quickly.
Yeah.
But if any behavior that a dog does, it's our reaction who makes it more or less.
Secret trick is that works with little kids too. We train our kids to
I know.
like, if they fall down, if you're like, oh yeah, you're so tough. Get right back up and go, and you're smiling. They're like, I'm okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you're
I
like,
have 4 kids
oh,
as well, so I know.
yeah.
But again, it's so much easier to say people with their dogs as people with their kids, but it is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of reaction that your kids and your dogs will give you.
I always tell people, do you want to make more of it or less? That's what you need to think before you do what you do.
Yeah. And dogs have good memories.
Mm-hmm. Oh, as some dogs, they really have good memories. But you know what? Dogs are um so good in patterns that if they know your routine of walking, right? You walk every day that same route. You don't even have to put a leash on because they will walk their own route because it's so patterned. But they will start and especially if you have that every day at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people tell me and they say like, my dog he can read the clock. I know for sure. But that's not what it is. But they start to read exactly what you do just before we go for the walk. And then they know, oh, it's time. Oh. and then they start to trick you by reacting on certain behavior a little bit earlier, and they move that time to their time.
My animals do that with food. I
Yeah,
have one.
also,
I
but
have
they do it with anything what they want, right?
walking too. Or
Yeah.
like I buy a treat for my dogs when I go to the grocery store and I shop on Tuesdays.
So
So
so they know they are already watering after you come
yeah,
back because
when
they
I come back,
know that it's coming, right?
yeah.
So sometimes when you have any behavior from your dog that you are like, I really don't like this, and start to see when that behavior starts to show up. Because I bet it is your routine that brings that behavior in because it knows it gets what he wants. So, what is the trick to do is reveal the pattern and then change it up. If you always go through your front door outside to walk, and you go to the back door now, your dog is like, oh, wait, I don't know what you're doing, but I don't know this pattern. And it is their survival mechanism that kicks in and starts like, okay, are we going to the back door? Oh, I start to get a new pattern, right? So it is us who just need to change things up to change the pattern and change the behavior of our dog.
I
It's
have a
that
dog
easy.
that he doesn't even. I have two sort of front doors, and he only goes in and out one door. Even if the other door is open, it's like, no, that's not the door to the outside. This is the door to the outside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So it's really silly how it all works, but it's actually really simple how they think, right?
And it's fun. It's really
Yes.
fun to have dogs.
Yeah.
They really enrich our lives. All pets do,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
dogs are just like,
And that's the other part, like because they are so loving and supporting and like why don't we start to be our true self, what the dogs already see? So become that more, because then we start to light up our spark insides and start to shine. And as soon as we do that, it shines to the dog as well. And your dog's like, oh my gosh, we're having a great day today. Right? So
yeah.
so it's not just that they are there for the sad moments and to make us happy. No, they want to walk with us to celebrate and be that person that we should be.
I love that. I know that you offer a lead with purpose inspired by dogs
Yes.
free.
Yeah. I have a free gift, and we will put the links in here on our show notes, I guess. And that will be the Lead with Purpose, helps you to reveal that your authenticity, your true self, is the most important part in leading not just your dog, but anything around you with inspiration instead of control. So if you want that, click that link and we will send it to you.
That's so awesome. So your website is joyfulsupport.com, and people can get in touch with you there.
Yeah. I have a website where I have a lot of information about my philosophy around the dogs and how much we can learn from them. And also that, of course, we have challenges with our dog. Yeah. So it's not that we're not allowed to see them, but what can we change to make it better?
Love that. And do you work with people in groups, or do you work with them one-on-one? How does all that look?
Yes, I have a course where I do a 10-week program, and I also have playgrounds, and they're online, they're not for the dogs, they're for you. But those playgrounds are really bringing people together, and it's very often in a group that it's so awesome to, if you are not confident enough to ask the question, 9 out of 10, somebody else will ask that question and you are there. So that will help you as well. And we have the whole course where we have an accountability coaching in there so that we really help you to go week by week. And you know what? I am guiding you, but your biggest supporter is your dog.
So do people need to have a dog if they join your community?
No, they don't have. If you have a cat or any other dog or any other animal, of course that works as well. So you don't have to have a dog, but it's like that's acknowledgement that you feel seen and safe with your dog. That feeling is what we want to give in that course to start to unravel who you are, what you want, and why you want it, to become that true self and lead not just your dog, but anybody. It could be your kids, your spouse, your business, whatever. It's any relationship.
And people can find your book and the guide over on your website. And they can also get in touch with you over there if they want to explore working with you.
Yes, for sure. There is a way to connect with me directly. You find all the information about the book and the Lead with Purpose as well. So yeah, I would love to connect with you. And I'm on Facebook as Arianne Durand. I am on Instagram, on LinkedIn. So even there, please follow me.
Awesome. Sounds great. It's been really lovely chatting with you, Arianne. What's the one thing you hope the audience takes away from our conversation today?
That you don't have to have a dog. You can have any other animal to become your true self. And that I'm very blessed that even last minute I could fit in today here with you, Jill. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the You World Order Showcase podcast. We hope you've enjoyed hearing from our incredible life, health, and transformational coaches who are making a profound impact on the world. Remember, change begins with you, and you have the power to transform your life and the lives of others. If you want to take that next step and unlock your true potential, visit thecoachesalchemist.com, where you can find the 3 ways we can help you for free to spin your talent into gold with clarity, a system, and a plan. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an inspiring episode. And if you enjoyed today's show, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback means the world to us and helps us reach more people with our positive message. Stay connected with us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and upcoming guest announcements. You can find us on Facebook at the U World Order or simply visit thecoachesalchemist.com.